presented and how things are in our society. Okay, I want y'all to understand something. It's something very important that we got to understand about our society in the way that it's being paid, in the way it's being portrayed here in America. I want us to totally understand exactly what's going on and why it's going on. Now, in this process of what's been going on, there's a thing called life. 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 Now, I want you to understand some people play this game to win, some people play this game to use and would abuse people in this game called life. Some people actually play this game called life as a joke. I don't want y'all to make no mistake. I want you to scroll down in your Instagram. I want you to scroll down in your Facebook. I want you to scroll down in your call logs. I also want you to scroll down in your iClouds, your Googles. I want you to scroll down and I want you to take a look at those individuals from A to Z and see who in that category is playing the game of life to win, playing that game of life to encourage, playing that game of life as a joke, or playing the game of life like they ain't got nothing to lose. Or even worse, playing this game of life like you got infinite lives. It's a lot of people out here playing this thing called the game of life, and they not taking it serious. So I want you to scroll down and see who in that phone of yours, who's on that Instagram, who's on that Facebook, who's on that TikTok. See who's playing and seeing who's for real, for real. If it's majority of those people in that index playing the game of life as a joke, it's time that you start to remove them. It's time that you start implementing people that is going to challenge your intellect. It's time for you to start grouping yourself around people that are taking life serious. This message is so vital and it's so important. And this is for actually people to be able to sit down and have an intellectual conversation from. It's to the point where you got so many people playing this game of life that you don't even know what their real intentions are for themselves. You don't know who in the association, and you definitely don't know what they plans in life of them playing this game called life with you. In this game of life, this is the foundation. And I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me out. And I want to know if you guys comment in the chat if you can hear me. That's true. Some people just don't take others seriously. They put them on the back burner till it's convenient. And that's true. And that's definitely true. I want y'all to understand this. You got to respect the environment in which you are in. You have to respect the environment in which you're in. I don't care if you live in the ghettos, from the job to anywhere around planet Earth. You have to respect the environment that you're in. Now, most people say, well, I got to get that respect before I give it. No, sir. The world doesn't work and the world doesn't evolve like that. You have to establish, you have to pay dues. You have to make sure that the people that you are around in that environment are safe, safety driven. You know what I'm saying? They care about themselves, much less they care about you. You have to look and peep your surroundings out. You have to be aware. She always told me this. She said, always be at the right place at the right time with the right tools. That goes for anything and anywhere on this planet Earth. If you in the gambling shack or anything like that, be at the right place with the right time with the right tools. If you in school, same thing. Have your books, have everything according to whatever you need in that environment so that you can learn from and that way you can earn from that situation. One of the most important lessons that I've ever had in my entire life. Make no mistake about it. That's important. Respect the environment in which you are in. The second thing said, know your surroundings. Know who's who. Be aware of your surroundings. Know who's who. Know who has the best intention for you or know who has the worst intention for you. I've played this thing and I've played this game called life. At one time, I wasn't serious, but I had to get. I had to get serious about my safety. I had to get serious about my protection. I had to get serious about my future endeavors. Because if you goal oriented and you focused on what you're doing and you driven on what you're doing, you're supposed to protect that at all costs. You're never ever in life supposed to go through playing games. You know what I'm saying? Since we live in a social media, men would rather be on live talking to strangers than people than they know. That go for men and women too. We live in a social media, men would rather be on live talking to strangers than people that they know in real life. That's a true statement. That is a true statement. But make no mistake, in the social media world, social media is this. It's an entertainment world. It's a cool world to be in. But at the end of the day, PlayStation made one of the most catchiest slogans that impacted, and it should have impacted everybody. It says, "Play in our world, but live in yours." And that's the thing that people don't understand. So when you understand your surroundings, that it does not apply in a social media world, but it actually applies in real life because everybody function in real life totally different from social media. So you respect the environment in which you're in, and you have to know your surroundings. People you know the situation that you're around too. Peep the room. Be able to survey. Be able to look. Be able to know what's going on. Look at the character traits. Look at the behavior. Look at the functionality of people. You got to. You got to understand of knowing your surroundings. That's one of the most key important things in respecting the game. And that game but called life can either make you or break you. So that's important. Move in a strategic fashion. It's a lot of people out here that do not move in a strategic fashion. And let me say this. There's numerous people out here that when they move in a fashion, they move with reckless abandon. They do not care about how they move, who they affect with their moves, or anything. You have to move according to like chess. See, chess is one of the most important games that you could ever learn to have in your life. And the reason being behind that is because the moves that you make not only affect you, but it affects others on the board as well. So you have to make certain necessarily move. You have to make necessary moves in order that can benefit you and put you in a better position. Because I don't believe in what you call luck. I believe in what you call preparation. Now there's something that you could actually look at. Preparing for the way cause you to go into the next level. You got to be able to know how to prepare yourself because you never know. There are lots of people that are waiting on the perfect opportunity. And if you squander yours, they'll be waiting right next in line to take advantage of that opportunity, especially in this game called life. That's just some food for thought. You have to take it serious at all costs. Serious. Move in a strategic fashion. Everybody shouldn't know your moves. Everybody shouldn't know what you're doing and how you're doing it and the way in which you were doing it. Because you got to understand right now in the degree of where we are in the society, everybody does not want your success. Everybody doesn't want you to take a step forward. Everybody doesn't want you to transition into something different. Like you lived long enough to stay the same. And that's the environment that we're not in. As we know, as African Americans, as we know, as minorities, that there are not many chances given, and you have to take advantage of those chances. So at the end of the day, you have to move in a strategic fashion, and you have to understand that there are people that you will tell your successes to or tell your future endeavors to that they will purposely sabotage it, maybe backdoor you and cut you out. You have to understand we live in a savage world right now. We live in a savage world, and by any means, people will take you out because of your success, or people will destroy you because of the potential success. And here's the secret that you may have never thought about: people will kill you so that you don't receive that success, knowing, you're not hearing what I'm saying, knowing that they're not going to get any than what you. I'm being dead serious when there are people right now that are waiting because you told them your opportunities, you told them your blessings, and they waiting right to chop your head off. They're waiting right now chop your head off, or they waiting right now for the perfect moment to stick you when you're not looking, to take you out of your blessings, to block you out of your situation that's made for you, that God has ordained for you. Food for thought, something that you could think about, because nobody actually talks about stuff like this, especially in the media. Nobody's telling you how to move, where to move, and in the instant to move you to better you. Because at the end of the day, your blessings are for you, and if you got they dang sure are going to be the benefits. Your family's going to be the benefits of your blessings. So definitely move in a strategic fashion. Know who your friends are. Go back, like I go back. Go back to that place where I told you. Go back to your Instagram. Go back to your TikToks. Go back to your iCloud and places like that. Scroll through them. See who has the best intentions for you. See who has bad intentions for you. See the ones that you always invited them to your business endeavors and business opportunities and they never showed up. But now that you got a little momentum and you got a little steam behind you, now they want to start what we call is the vapors. I learned this from a lady. I learned it's called the vapors. When your success starts steaming a little bit and it starts branching out and then everybody can start smelling your success, they'll get the vapors and then they'll start coming around. They'll start going around in your situation and pretending that they were all for you from the get-go. Trust me, they coming. Your success, your foundation that you building, your legacy that you laid out to them, oh, trust me, they're coming. They're coming. Be on the lookout because they're coming. Your friends, are they with you always in your highest point or always at your lowest point? Because let me tell you something. I'm the type of friend that's going to rock with you whether you got $5 million or 5 cents in your pocket. I've always been like that. I've always been an individual where you never had to have much for me to be your friend, because friendship to me has never been defined by what you have. Friendship to me has never been defined by what you could buy me. Friendship has never been defined by me in an instant by what blessings that I can see you throw out to others. It's never been about that. My goal as a friend, the definition of a friend to me is to be better to you than you ever could be to me. And it ain't always money. It's not always money. There's so many things that a person that may not be at the highest point that can give you jewels that are priceless, that you can take with you for the rest of your life, and you be able to teach your offspring, teach your wife, teach your husband, teach others around you. Because the end game and the end goal in this game of life is to not only help yourself, but to help others. I want you to understand something, and I want you to make no mistake about this. People are watching you, believe it or not. The ones that you think aren't watching you are watching you. And they are watching you in an instant because they are waiting, like I said, to get next to you and get close to enough, even in friendship. So you have to know who your friends are. And sometimes in life, there is a cutoff with people. I've been fortunate and been blessed this whole week, and I just been trying to share blessings. The momentum that I have, I'm taking everything that I have in my momentum, and I'm placing certain individuals with certain individuals. I'm working with certain individuals. People are introducing me into certain individuals, and my things are rocking. My things are building. And trust me, make no mistake, as I'm building this platform, there's a lot of stuff that's coming with this. There's a lot of talk that's coming with it. A lot of sneak dissing that comes with it. A lot of backstabbing coming with this. A lot of negativity that's coming with this. But I know that my good intentions are going to see the light regardless of the fact. That goes for men in my life. That goes for women in my life. That goes for anybody in my life. It's coming. You cannot have success without the rhetoric and all the other nonsense that comes along with it. But I'm prepared for it. I know how to adjust to it. I always keep my head on a swivel, because playing this game of life, it can kill you. Your success level in this game called life can kill you. But I'm here to give you some game and some knowledge so that you could go into this thing called life, not only by yourself, but also with your spouse and your significant other, your relationship and your children, to know exactly how to move, because it's your life and you have to protect it at all costs. Now, I want you to understand something. One wrong move can cost you. What we got to understand is, in this world, we know that the cards are stacked against us, right? How we move can get us caught up, whether it's in the criminal system, whether it's in the court system of family law, whether it's in the streets, whether it's at a job or anything. You have to understand one wrong move can cost you. You're one step away from one bad decision and it can cost you. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you a trillionaire. One wrong move and it can sink your life. So you have to understand, with those areas that I talked about, knowing your surroundings, moving in a strategic fashion, knowing who your friends are. With all of those categories, one wrong move can cost you. And I've made it this far in my life without making bad moves, bad decisions, putting myself in bad situations. I remove myself from them because at the end of the day, I don't want to cost me. I got a little girl, I got a legacy that I'm trying to live, and she's watching, she's soaking up. She'll be able to come to this social page, YouTube, and she'll be able to the things that I talked about, not just because I talked about them, but I actually lived them. That's important. So understanding that one wrong move can cost you. There are so many individuals that have had talent in basketball, talent in football, talent in baseball, talent in writing, talent in music, talent in areas that God has bestowed their blessings, and they made one wrong move and it cost them. Understand that each step that you take is a very cautious one, and it should be, like I said, what I listed, in a strategic fashion, because at the end of the day, we cannot afford to make any more bad moves than what we are in society. It's 2022. You cannot mess and think that you're going to get better on the back end. Control the narrative of where you are now. Be able to transition into something better. Be able to think better. Be able to feel better. You want to know why a lot of individuals can't get to that level? Bad mind frame. They eat bad. A lot of these, let's get to it. It's a lot of people here right now that jump on social media, jump on these areas, jump in all media area and nonsense, and they're not even taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of their minds. They're not taking care of they're not taking care of their bodies. And I see it all the time, how people function, their wordplay, how they talk, how they articulate themselves. I see it. I'm a witness to it. I'm very observant. I notice all the nuances. And it's not a pretty sight, because at the end of the day, you should be working every day to improve yourself, reading a book, watching a documentary, trying to improve your mind skills. The brain takes a different shape when it learns something. And a lot of our brains is out of shape. And I'm not trying to be funny here. It's a lot of people right now, diet is so bad. They ain't had a piece of fruit. They ain't had no vegetables. They talk bad. They look bad. Hell, I can even say this. They haven't even drunk any water. I'm dead serious and I'm being honest. There are so, man, notice the people around you that are playing this thing called life, man. They taking it for a joke. I mean, I'm dead serious, man. Get some of that water in your system. Get in your system. Go on a walk. Allow your mind to be renewed. Allow your mind to be restored. You allow yourself to be in all the nonsense but the right thing. You be in all the wrong things but the right things. Man, clean yourself up. Man, put some water in your body and put some fruit in your body. Half of y'all had a decent meal because you think that all the junk that on TV are healthy for you. Hey, I'm just being honest. And I think there's something that we actually need to take a look in the mirror and look at and observe about ourselves. Are we happy with ourselves? Are we upbeat about ourselves? Are we going after the dreams and aspirations that we really say that we want? This is true, which is why you have to learn to cut people off who are not mentally cautious of your feelings. That's true. Now that's a true statement right there. Now, this one here, create a circle in which you can learn from. Most of the people around me right now are doing way better than me. You know what I'm saying? When I say way better than me, I'm talking about way better financially, way better education wise, way better in every which way possible on a successful level, including my mentor. We sit down, we talk game for hours. You know why? Because I know that he's a library, and any individual that has more than you is a library. And I want you to understand something. Tapping into those type of individuals, those are jewels. Value those jewels. There are so many people on this planet Earth that know more than me. And I love to sit down and I like to communicate with them. And I like to learn and I like to understand different things from a different perspective. Because your perspective always isn't the right one. So sometimes you got to take a step back and hear somebody else that has been maybe through your situation, have maybe, or you might be presently going through a situation that they've been similar to or similar through that can help you through situations. You have to create a circle in which you can learn from and you can earn a respect from. There's a lot of things going on in our community, and there's a lot of things that are going on with our friends that we have to create a circle of empowerment. There are too many people running around with so much negativity and negative energy in that circle. It is okay to remove them and start inputting people that are more valuable to your circle. That is important. That is one of the most important things about friendship. Making that other person better, taking out of yourself and making that other person better. And if the people got around you that got the right tools, man, by all means, ask to borrow them, ask to build with them. There are so many people out here that are waiting to share ideas. They're wanting to pass on things because they want to keep it going. That same system is built in every culture around this planet. I suggest that we get on board with each other and we start doing the same thing. Be seen and not heard. Freddie Joe Smith, my grandfather, Freddie Joe Smith, and I've been keeping this in mind. Be seen and not heard. Because when you're seen and you're not heard, nobody can pick your mind or pick your brain. And you can use this in certain instances. And you'll be able to identify that if you use a certain level of discernment, you'll know who's for you and who's against you. Be seen and not heard. Allow people to wonder about you. Let me tell you something. As a social media follower, one of the things that killed the nostalgia part, about rap and following certain artists, weird to me. Because the antics that they would do and all of the things that they have going on in their world and their life, it became quite embarrassing. And if you look at where we are in the social media world or where we are today, you see the kids doing any and everything just to stay famous and to stay relevant. Saying anything, doing anything, no morals, no values, no principles. And they learned it from the elders because in the same very homes of what we see our kids doing today, they parents is doing the same shit. They parents are doing the same thing. I don't think there's no media outlet, no social media where I've been acting wild and acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because at the end of the day, I know my daughter's soaking up things and soaking up game like a sponge. And at the end of the day, if I place myself in anywhere below standard, she's not going to respect me when she get older. That's something we don't think about. That's something that we don't talk about. That's something that we don't understand, that it can make us and break us even in the job market right now. Most of these companies, before you get to that supervisory position, they already They already locking onto your Instagrams. They looking on your Facebooks and seeing what you posting. Being dead real. They looking at what you posting. Sex Kitten 22. Shoelace Coochie 59. Wet Coochie 32. Oh, yeah. And these can be brought up not just for you to get a supervisory position, but it can also, also be brought up in your job interview. Oh, yeah. It can be brought up in your job interview. So I'd advise you, think about the moves that you make. Because like I say, they can affect you in every bit of way. So I suggest you tune in, focus up, do what you got to do. Change your game up just a little bit, man. This is just free game. Just a little free game. Just some food for thought. Be seen and not heard. Don't go to your social medias talking. Be seen and not heard. Don't crank up a whole bunch of mess and nonsense on this thing called life, because that one wrong move, like I said, can cost you. Allow people to sit back and observe and wonder about you. Everything ain't supposed to be laid on the table, because if you lay everything on the table, it may be something. It just may be something that a lot of people don't like about you. That's just a little food for thought. Just a little food for thought. But getting into it, I want you to understand, you must respect the hustle when it comes to the game. You got to work hard. It ain't no skipping. It ain't no skipping the work. You're not going to be granted anything to just move to the top. Half of the people in this world want to be on top just because. And there's lots of people in this world that have actually been in those positions to be on top, and they were not prepared for it, and they got knocked down. You got to understand this. You have to be prepared. You have to work hard. And let me tell you something about hard work. You're going to value it more when you get at the top, because Donald Trump wrote a book. It's two things: getting to the top and staying at the top. How you going to maintain your place and your position at the top if you haven't worked hard and you haven't understood what you had to sacrifice, what you had to pull, what you had to gain knowledge in, what you had to study for, what you had to test for? That's going to make you self-sufficient, make you efficient enough for a position. There's lots of people out here, and I want you to understand something. There's lots of people out here that have the knowledge but don't have the people skills. It's a lot of people out here that have the people skills that don't have the knowledge. And there's a lot of people that have the people skills, that have the education, but don't have the great character for that position. So you got to look at this thing from three different spectrums. Give yourself a moment to step back, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, with any position that I'm going after, do I have the education? Do I have the people? And do I have the character to deal with certain individuals? Because there are highs and lows, especially when you're going for a supervisory position or any top position period in this country. You got to be prepared to deal with the highs and lows, and you have to have emotional intelligence, something that our culture lacks, because we're quick to fly off the handle about everything, but we sit back and don't say nothing when it's the right thing right in front of our faces. Understand that. Work hard and make people respect your hard work. It's real talk. Now, I also want to say this too, and I want to get into this, and this is a deep in depth part. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused in 2022. We have no time to play, no time to bullshit, and no time to hang out and do none of that. If you're gonna get to where you go, if you're gonna get to where you're going, you got to work hard. You got to stay focused. That's one of the biggest things of why we are not successful, is staying focused. Execution is all of this. I'm talking about focusing in on it like a laser beam, focusing in on it like it's nothing else on this planet to focus on. You have to become borderline narcissistic about your future endeavors, especially when it comes to brand building. I've been building this brand for a while now, and it's just starting to kick and start. I've been doing this for years, establishing business relationships. Let me tell you an example. Nobody thinks about this. Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle worked, and I know you is. Nipsey Hussle worked his ass off and got to the position of where he was, even though he quit rap. He quit rapping, went back to rapping, and look at all the features that he did when he was here on earth for his time where he was here. He worked with Young Thug. He worked with Young Scooter. He worked with Problem. He worked with so many T-Fly. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite artists. He worked with so many individuals before he even signed a record deal. He put so many well-known names, well established before him, and got those features. It took work to do that. It took money to do that. It took focus to do that. It took his mind frame. And he said this. He said, circle got smaller because everybody couldn't go. And that's all a part of where you're going to establish and it's respecting this game called life. All of those things play a necessary battle into where you're going to go. Because let me tell you something, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was brand building. You're going to have to work at this thing if you're going to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Archbishop Magic Don Juan said it, man. He said, he said, it may look good to you when you see me riding snake skin down to the floor with the hat to match. He said, it may look easy to it. It may look easy to you, but you're going to have to work to get to where I'm at, baby. See you at the top. That's a true statement, and that stuck with me all the days of my life to where I'm at now. See you at the top. And that's one of the most important things that ever dropped in that documentary, American Pimp, man. And it was serious. You got to be disciplined. You got to have yourself some discipline. You got to be focused. You got to work hard. You got to stay focused, and you got to stay disciplined. There are too many people that are going to come in your life and come in your realm that try to knock you off your spot. There are going to be too many people that are going to come into your life and try to make you or break you. But at the end of the day, you stay positive and you stay with good energy. That's a plus. I learned this from my homegirl, Shell. My homegirl, Shell, man, we used to talk and we used to sit down and we used to break down things in an important manner. And, man, we used to show love. And she taught me so many things behind the scenes. And the list goes on, man. We used to have some just mental workout sessions about talking positive. And she actually came with some different ideas and just threw them to me. And I'm forever grateful. You know what I'm saying? That those are people that came along the way that I've been friends with and I've never broke no friendship with, and they've always showed me love, and they've always had my back in the deepest, darkest moments of my life. And I appreciate them from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate her from the bottom of my heart because she played a huge role in me building where I was supposed to be at. Man, appreciate it, man. He said, caught you live first time. Salute my G. We met at the gas station maybe a year ago. Yeah, man, I just been doing this, man, and I've been cranking it up because there are so many people. And also turn on your notifications too as well, man. Turn on your notifications and catch this because, like I say, I do this every week, and I want people to learn, and I want to gravitate to what I'm doing and what I'm trying to build here. A place to where we all can collaborate and a place that we can all share ideas and share our thoughts, even if we want to get stuff off our chest. People to understand. People always want to remember when you were at your lowest. People believe in you down lowest. There have been some times I've been broke. There have been some times I've been at my lowest point. There have been some times when I didn't have nobody to turn to but my mother. My mom's too, because she watching. That woman plays such an important part of my life, of what she went through, not just as a wife, but as a single mother. I learned so much game from her. And it was at the most pivotal point in my life of what I was going through. Certain individuals tried to play me, Certain individuals tried to come in my world and disarray and create chaos and nonsense in my world. But I maintained a cool head because at the end of the day, it was my choice and it was my way of how I was going to deal with that situation. Because people always want to remember you as a used to be. People always want to say, hey man, I remember when you was a little nigga. I always wanted to remember you when you was just a scary chick. I always wanted to remember you when you didn't have nothing. I always wanted to remember you because let me tell you something. Those memories of where they remember you at your lowest point are sometimes self-esteem driven to make them feel better. You know why? Because they couldn't get to where you went even in your worst of struggles. It was a humbling experience. It's always been a humbling experience to learn and to grow with all the individuals. Like I say, man, I've been cool with cats from Rosewood, cats from Dallas, cats from New York, cats from California, cats from Louisiana, cats from Milwaukee, Kansas, all across the board that rock. And I learned so much from them, even in my lowest points. And nobody even knew that I was even at my lowest points in my life. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I knew that there was gonna be a bright light at the end of that tunnel. I knew that there was a blessing with my name on it. I knew that it was a situation that I could grow from and build on. My name is always been honorable. I've never been the type to create drama or chaos in this world, but I've always been the type of person to offer a solution. There's one of my people that follow my page, man, that I got an encouraging word from, and it touched my spirit. And I actually got a call from a good friend of mine that I used to work with. Um, his name is George. He said, man, I just appreciate you, man, for just giving me game and just talking and just, just sharing those experiences with me, man. He said, man, you really starting to jump off. You really starting to pop off. And I say, man, I'm just going to keep my head down and humble and stay with this thing and just grow. And like I say, if you want to come on, man, you got a spot. I don't mind sharing my platform for anybody to testimony, but may need to hear it. It's so many individuals that be going through things that keep it to themselves, that are on the brink of suicide, that are on the brink of going crazy on their family or going crazy on the individual. But I'm here to tell you, man, at the end of the day, keep your peace. This is a place that you can exhale. This is a place that you can come and you can talk about your life and you can talk about those things that you're going through, your character better, to build your self-esteem better, to build your mental better, to build your emotional better. Hell, even to build your financial. I got a guest coming, man, that's going to show you how to get into the trucking game. Simple. If not that, I'm going into IT. And I'm telling you, I'm going to bring other individuals around me with me because I want them to grow. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Just bring yourself. Get around good people. I guarantee it's going to change your life. When you start remembering the things that you've been through and where you're trying to go and where you're trying to go, man, it's nothing but future blessings going in your way. But I want you to understand something. People always want to remember you at your lowest point, but I'm here to tell you, never allow disrespect to start. You have to stop it in its tracks. You have to stop it in its tracks. Never allow people to continually disrespect you or put you in a little son's place or a little daughter's place. Stand up as a man. Stand up as a woman. You have every right to protect your name, to protect your legacy, and to protect who you are as an individual. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to build. Allow yourself to not be disrespected. Because at the end of the day, you're a man before anything. You're a woman before anything. So allow yourself to not be disrespected. You got to stop it. Don't allow it to linger. Don't allow it to grow and allow it to go on. Man, stop it in its tracks. Remain solid on how you stand on situations and how you stand with people. Remain solid on how you stand on situations and how you stand with people. Remain solid. Don't allow people to dictate and change you because of what they did. Remain solid on them situations Even if it's a falling out, remain solid. Hey man, I'm gonna tap in with you. It's all good. We got that little situation going on. It's all good. Keep it positive. Keep it positive. It's not gonna hurt you because at the end of the day, how you stand with people, you don't never know. A lot of times we don't understand about doubling back and making situations right, or we doubling back and we trying to build something, or we may have had a miscommunication, or we might have had a mix up, or we might have had a misunderstanding. But allow yourself to stay solid, man. Have a good character with people. Have a good chemistry with people. Have a good rapport with people. Allow yourself to remain solid. Don't nobody change you are as an individual. Keep those same traits. Keep the same energetic, positive traits. They gonna be. I'm telling you, they stay with you because when you get to that supervisory, when you get to that boss position, whatever you get to, I promise you, the people gonna love you and they gonna adore you for it. Those that do appreciate you, they gonna love you and appreciate you for it. I promise you. Understand this too. You either a pawn to be used or abused, or you a leader of your own destiny. Like I said, it's people out here trying to trick you out your spot and will use you to get to where they think that they should be, even in other people's eyes. You hear about it in the record industry. You hear about it you hear about it every day at work. There's lots of people willing to cut each other's throat to get to a certain position. You have to understand, you either a pawn or you gonna be a leader. Those two things are defined on who you are and your character. Allow yourself, allow yourself, allow yourself to be a leader and allow yourself to be led in the right manner. Because you have too many people out here that are miscommunication, that are leading with miscommunications, with purposely to mislead you off. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. It's people right now that'll swear that they'll help you and they'll never help you at all. They'll make like they doing a whole bunch to get to that process, but they'll never get to the ending of it. Kind of like how Martin was with Tommy. Remember when Cole went to go work with Tommy and he was like, he never understood what he said. When do you start? And where's the building at? You know what I mean? He said, I'm gonna be doing the same thing as Tommy. It, you got people out there like that. I peeped that in that show. That was pretty funny to me. But at the same time, that is exactly how people are today. There are people that swear up and down that they got connections and this and that, and they don't do nothing for you, man. So you have to understand that people will mislead you because I'm gonna tell you something, man or woman, it don't matter. And this ain't a gender war. For everybody that's not led properly, you will be misled. You will be, for every person that is not led properly, you will be misled. And this is exactly what you see today. We are being misled in the algorithms. We are being misled on the social media apps right now. If you think I'm lying, I want you to do something right now. The information. Remember, I had went on a live, and somebody challenged me talking about, well, you don't have to do the numbers, and you don't have to understand what's going on in the society today. That Let me tell you something. What I'm about to tell you is going to trip you out, and I want you to take your time, and I want you to do this for me. The algorithm got us black folks down to a T that we have not understood that they have infiltrated all the data of what we have, which is the most important. That's the number one thing on this planet right now is data. There was a individual, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't think of it. He got exiled to Russia, right? He talked about this, about your information being sold and how the algorithm uses that information to turn you into the individual that you always were. How do you know this? I want you to take a moment and I want you to Google something. Now, before you do this, I want you to understand that I already have the answer. Even in our success, there's an algorithm that leads us to certain choices. Even in actual black excellence and black success, there's an algorithm to lead us to certain choices. For example, I want you to go black woman's dream car, but I'm going to give you a clue. It's German. Google black woman's dream car. When you understand about even typing in certain things, our information is displayed before the world on Google. Type in a black man's dream car. Type it in. Type in a black man's dream car, and I want you to type in a black woman's dream car. But the only clue I'm going to give you to the black woman's dream car is it's German. This is why I tell you that the algorithm groups certain things together to create certain behaviors. Artificial intelligence was not put here to benefit us. It was only put here to drive us, sheep, in certain directions. Eric Snowden is his name, and he talked about it, and he got exiled to Russia. He can't come back to the United States because there's not a court that is higher than the Supreme Court that can try him. They won't allow evidence of truth of our information being sold into court as truth. There is no court to challenge that. So when I tell you about the algorithm, about how they do the numbers and they do the studies and they do all of the financial backing to it, they spend millions of dollars, if not billions, to keep this thing going the way that it's going. Like I said, if you're coming on this live, I'm telling you, Google black woman's dream car. I guarantee it's German. And then Google black man's dream car. But I want you to understand something. This thing is deeper than what I'm telling you. Because like I said, I think we're gonna have another show about the social media thing too. And that's gonna probably be tomorrow. And we're gonna tap in and we're gonna go directly about that. Now, you heard me say never allow disrespect to start. You have to stop it in its tracks. Remain solid on how you stand on situations and how you stand with people. You either a pawn to be used and abused or a leader of your own destiny. And remove yourself, if need be, to keep and maintain the peace within your life. Allow yourself to remove certain things. Allow yourself to remove yourself, because at the end of the day, your peace is the most important thing that you'll have. Be able to remove. I don't care what. Be able to have that moment of peace. I want y'all. I want y'all to understand that it's okay to remove yourself from situations. It's okay to remove yourself from distractions. It's okay to remove yourself from certain things that are not conducive to your environment. It's okay to remove yourself, if need be, to keep and maintain the peace in your life. Your peace should be the most main thing, because as you maintain your peace, you're able to control everything around you, and you're able to create a certain level of progression in your life. You cannot come in a chaotic environment and be successful. You have to be at peace. Peace with yourself. You have to be at peace with. And then as you're making your business endeavors and making your business arrangements and making all of the things that are destined for you have to be at a peace with. Allow yourself to be renewed. Allow your health and your strength to be at peace, because that's one of the most important things that we have on this earth. There's a lot of stress. It's serious. That's true. Say at the end of the day, you can tap in, speak your piece. If you want to chime in, by all means. But like I say, I didn't want to be too long. But I felt like a lot of times on this situation about respecting the game called life, you have to build. You have to stay focused. You have to stay energized. And most have to stay respectable to everything and everybody around you. That's important, man. Allow yourself, even if you got to get off this app for a couple months, or if you got to get off, or you have to do whatever. Uh, Sometimes it's okay to disconnect. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt you. You just have to sit down and you have to focus, because at the end of the day, your energy, your energy, your energy is gonna make you or break you. Stress is a killer. Now add that to your diet, add that to the water intake, less water intake that you have, all the chaotic friends that you have around you. You have to pay attention to that. Some people don't function unless there's chaos. I'm not a chaotic person. I don't deal with chaos. I'm more mild-mannered, more respectable, but I don't have chaos going on in my world and in my life. But at the end of the day, your peace, your sanity is what's going to be important. And if you think I'm lying, you can go down to the George R. Brown Convention Center and you can see the individuals that have checked out mentally, checked out spiritually, checked out emotionally. They just couldn't handle the world. And if you think for a second that that's just the tip of the iceberg, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing that's going to happen within the next 10 years. So I advise you, be at peace with yourself. Be at peace with individuals. Maintain yourself and build. Allow yourself to be in these 4 areas together: financially, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Those things will help you across life, man. Like I told you, I wasn't going to be long, but it's a message that I felt like needed to be said. And I feel like it's something that we all could learn from and we could all grow from. I love what I do, and I can't wait till I actually go into the next level of what I'm doing. And like today, I got several different calls that's putting me in a better position. And I got other things in the works to bring others on and bring others with me, because I got some other people that want to jump on the podcast as well, some well-known people. So, man, I just want to tell y'all, man, I want to thank y'all for tapping in with me. Like I said, I wasn't going to be long, and I just felt like it was necessary for me to put this out. And I had wrote this lesson out, and then I got so many of them coming. And then I got one thing called the guidelines. It's called the guidelines. GUYD apostrophe D lines of how we should move and function. And just to let y'all know, man, I'm just gonna give you just a little bit, I ain't gonna give you too much, right? Um, I got a phone call today, and it was a good phone call, but I just don't want to give you too much of the phone call, but I'm gonna be short and sweet, and I'm gonna get in my plane. Uh, got a call from somebody important from me, and just showed me some love, and man, I'm just blessed, and I cannot wait till after this next month. Like I say, the show is finna change. It's finna change completely in its entirety. And I want y'all to be a part of my change and a part of my growth. And I want y'all to be a part of what I'm finna get ready to put across the board, because this thing is finna be monumental. I'm just gonna let you just hear a little something, something, something. This is my intro. Check it out. I'm only gonna give you a sample, so y'all will be here to hear it first. Those that hear it, and we gonna rock out. Hold on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's yap about it. Yeah, let's yap about it. Yap about it podcast. Yeah, starring Raw Bass. Yap about it. Yeah, yeah. Let's yap about it. Let's yap. Let go. Yeah, yeah. Let's yap. We in the mix. Fit too savage. Let's yap about it. Let's yap. Let's yap. Let's yap about it. Yeah, yeah. Let's yap about it. Yeah, yeah. Let's yap about it. Savage like music. Interviews be squeezing. Stop by for a visit. That's all I'm gonna give you. Listen, listen, listen. I want y'all to be aware of what I'm finna get ready to drop. The intro. I'm finna get ready to probably shoot an intro video for it. So it's gonna be at a couple of disclosed locations. It's gonna be invite only, and definitely we gonna rock out, man. You know, shout out to everybody that rock with me in the Fifth Ward, Greens Point, um, Trinity Garden, my hood, my neighborhood. Shout out to some people that I rock with on the sunny side, Third Ward, all the PCGs over there. Shout out to man, Mo City, man. I rock with a lot of people out of Mo City too. Definitely Bel Air, A Leaf. Shout out to my boy Gully, man. You know what I'm saying? He been rocking with me for a very long time. He taught me so much, especially when it comes to the game and things like that. Man, shout out to them, man. And also shout out to Acres Home, home away from home. Definitely shout out to everybody that's out there that rock with me too as well. And I cannot forget Fourth Ward. Shout out to Fourth Ward. That's always been one of my second homes as well around the city. So I just want to say, hey man, if you like I say, if you got any topics that you want to drop, anything that you want to talk about, by all means, man, I'm here to love and show support all across the board. And man, I just want to tell y'all, man, I appreciate y'all. Man, I definitely gonna put in all the extra work that I need to. I'm gonna put in all the extra necessary work that I need to, man, and we gonna keep this thing going. Like I say, I'm very short-winded. We gonna rock, and like I say, man, we finna shoot this video and we finna rock out all the way, man. And like I say, until the next time, I'm telling you, man, we gonna rock and roll with this thing. Um, this is a rental wrap for tonight's program, and I'd like to thank all the people who joined, all the family, friends, haters, everyone for all walks of life, because without you, the people, this would not be possible. I love y'all. Shout out to everybody, man, that's going to join the podcast in the future and from beyond all the way. And like I say, as always, until next time, until next time, until next time, we definitely gonna yap about it. One.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.